Boy, those YouTube notifications for Discord are very quick. Live chat replay on. Live chat on. Live reaction off. Okay. It is like so instantaneous. I don't know if I like this angle or not. I'm here ahead of schedule, maybe slightly ahead of schedule. So I didn't post anywhere. Well, I'm just gonna... What do you mean, oh my god, finally? I'm here at the same time every week if I do stream, which I guess is not always the case. What's up, Cook? What's up, Daya? What's up, T-Mart? Sorry, T-Mart. The font is very small. Sometimes it's hard for me to read. Also, I'm like deep in a cut. My brain don't work so good right now. So we'll see how this goes. I thought it was maybe like TMAR 132. That's what it looked like from far away. No workout today. I don't usually work out on stream anymore, but I am feeling very sore in my chest, a little bit in my hamstrings, because those are really the only things I push myself on. Although I should do more. You don't mind? Okay, appreciate you. A friend to those who don't read good. I guess I should do my intro. I'll keep it brief. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Hook and T-Mart. I hope you all are doing well. Great progress pictures in the Discord. Mr. Cook, as always, of course. If you're new here, thanks for being here. My name is Chris, aka Terrible Hime. I am a fitness enthusiast and I love helping people with their fitness journeys. I was once a certified personal trainer, but my certification is no longer valid, which is fine because I don't take training clients. Right now, I am in a calorie deficit and a fat loss phase of my fitness journey. I do a lot of random stuff here on the YouTube channel. If you like my content, consider subscribing. That's about it. Same old. I haven't been posting too much on other social media, if I'm honest. I've basically given up on TikTok. I really just don't like being on TikTok. But like Instagram and Twitter and stuff, I haven't been posting on because I just can't really be bothered right now. Being in a calorie deficit is always very physically and mentally taxing on me. I have been keeping up with my paid subscription platform, but that's about it. And I said I would post a YouTube video about all the stationery stuff that I bought in Japan, and I have the whole video done. I just have not made a thumbnail for it. Hello, bath salts. Hello, how are you? Last week, by the way, for people that are not in the Discord, I did not stream because I had like a minor heat stroke, or had minor heat stroke. I don't know the correct way to say that. You're very good. I'm glad to hear it. One of our air conditioning units is broken. We have two because the house is kind of big. The one upstairs it wasn't even that. It was the air conditioning unit. My office was over 90 degrees. And I think maybe it was in addition to the yard stuff, but for the yard stuff, I was literally just literally on my dad's like full ride fucking lawnmower thing. I mean, I was out in the sun, and I'm not usually out in the sun, but it wasn't like that bad, but it was probably a combination. But yeah, I was like up in my office working, and it was literally over 90 degrees in there. And I started feeling like kind of dizzy, kind of like headache. It was really weird. I was like, when I would get up to walk around, it felt like my whole body was leaning to the side. It was really strange. Did I get a t-shirt tan? Does it look like a t-shirt tan? That's kind of funny. Is it still hot down south? I guess technically I am in the south, but I mean, it's pretty hot down here. It's right now, I think it's in the 90s, maybe 80s, 90s. It's pretty hot. I don't know what that is in Celsius. I'm incredibly bad at Fahrenheit to Celsius, but I mean, it's pretty hot. But yeah, I just am very mentally and physically tired from this like calorie deficit situation. I've also been playing a lot of Minecraft, but that's totally different. Hey Mopar. I'm doing pretty well, actually, all things considered. Over the weekend, I went to visit some friends in New York City. I drove up for like a day. It was nice to see them. They are friends I used to cosplay with. That they still cosplay. I don't really cosplay anymore. But it was good to see them. We watched anime. Video games are evil? You realize that you doing like a video game disguised as exercise, right? What's up, Mr. Oddity? Oof. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I felt pretty okay. Like Tuesday and Wednesday, I just didn't think I could like muster the energy to stream, you know? Zwift and COD full-time jobs for you, see? And then you say video games are evil, bro. I didn't know you were a competitive COD player. I've been thinking about doing Minecraft streams, but I don't think I have the audience for it, if I'm honest. It's also kind of boring. Just watch the last episode. You watched something specifically because you heard it was depressing? Couldn't be me. Mr. Toke, good to see you. Are you done throwing up for the day? What have y'all been up to? Anything interesting? My diet has been really on point, but my workouts have not been so on point just because of scheduling issues, I guess. You know, going out of town to see my friends and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's weird. A lot of people actually do that. A lot of people watch stuff that makes them sad. I'm just not that kind of person. I'm not judging you. Just could not be me. I don't do that kind of stuff. What's he doing back there? Do you see him? Why is he sitting back there like that? it was pretty brutal driving up to New York. The drive is actually not that bad. If there's no traffic, it's like 4 hours. But my hamstrings were actually very sore, which wasn't the most fun. You tried scarier Minecraft? No. I don't play those kind of games. When I play Minecraft, I just play creative. I just like go and I build stuff. I don't do the survival part of it, or I don't even do like the resource management part of it at all. I just play creative. So yeah, I don't enjoy resource management sort of games very much. I just like making cute houses. Some gambling. I didn't know you were a gambler. You have a canker sore. Yeah, those are really annoying. What are you doing, Mr. Toad? Do you want one treat? One single treat for you. Come over here where the people can see you. Come on. Bite it. Eat it. Come on. Oh, Joey and I have been watching One Piece also. What's up, Georgie? Good to see ya. Oh, we also started watching a show on Netflix, a live action show. Sometimes it's hard to watch One Piece like while you eat because you have to read subtitles. So we started watching a live action show on Netflix called Evil. So far, I like it. So far, it's good. It's like a mystery, exorcisms, horror sort of stuff. What's up, Sweet Lou? How you doing? How you doing? How's it going? Yeah, I had an okay weekend. The longer I'm in a calorie deficit, the worse my social battery is. I'm not a very extroverted person to begin with. Hey, William. So, yeah. So I went to see my parents the week before for Father's Day. And then this past week, I went up to New York. You relate to the battery? Yeah, I'm sure, bro. Not sure if it matters. It look really cute. Minimal makeup's there. Actually, I'm not wearing makeup at all. My eyebrows are tattooed on. I do feel like I'm having a pretty good skin day today, but I'm not having a good hair day. But that's okay. I feel like my skin's been doing pretty good. I mean, I do have some spots, but my skin's been looking pretty juicy lately. You got roped into a theater play and you're going on stage to act? Really? Wow. Plays Alice in Wonderland. You're playing the Cheshire Cat. Oh my god. Wow, good luck with your play. That's kind of exciting. Hi. How are you, Acro IRL? Yeah, I know. Usually it's much worse than just a couple visible ones. But yeah, I actually am not wearing any makeup. My eyebrows are just tattooed on. I don't know if that counts as makeup. Do people count that as makeup? They do look I mean, I'm used to them, but I do think it's a little funny looking to have like fully done eyebrows. Absolutely no other makeup on. You're well. I'm glad you're doing well. Good to see me. Thank you. Thanks for being here, bro. See, now I feel like that looks weird too. Hey, Hotep. 24/7 perfect eyebrows. That's why I got them done. You like the eyebrows? Thank you. Before I felt like they were like really bushy, like right here. And then they were really sparse at the end. I didn't think you were. You didn't want to take a chance. That's fair. No, I appreciate it. I mean, I'm feeling pretty cute. Doesn't look weird. Everything I do is protect that. Now you're just being silly. Hey, turtle in training. I'm doing okay. I'm feeling, I mean, body-wise, now that I'm losing weight, I'm definitely feeling more myself. I am down, I don't know, maybe like a couple pounds. So that's nice. Although something's going on inside my like arm. Like it feels like here inside my armpit and a little bit into my lat. So I've been having trouble doing vertical pulling movements. And I'm just like chilling on the back days in general. I haven't been deadlifting either or doing RDLs because I feel like when I strain and I'm like holding something, I think I'm putting too much pressure on it. Yeah, it's been a little frustrating and it's taking a long time to get itself right. It's been bothering me for a couple of weeks, probably because I'm so low calorie. It's not like doing the thing. You're learning how to use DaVinci. Thank you for the lurk. I enjoy DaVinci. I think it's a good program. Hello, William. Other William, welcome in. Yeah, DaVinci is what I use for most of my video editing, actually. I paid for the better version of it, and I think it was worth it. Bought a weighted vest for your walks. I would honestly be really careful with those because it puts a lot of strain on your joints. Like it's gonna not be so great on it doesn't really burn more calories and it's gonna put more strain on your joints. Just like walking around with weighted stuff or like, you know, people that box with like weights and stuff, it puts a lot of strain on your joints. Like if you're using a weighted vest to do like weighted pull-ups and stuff like that and you put it on, you take it off, like that's not so bad. But yeah, just like walking around with it, it just, you know, just think about how much your like feet and your knees and your hips and your ankles hurt if you like walk around for a long time, and just imagine how much worse they would feel if you like added 50 pounds on top of that, or like if you were walking around with like a heavy backpack. Yeah. Do you think it's skeletal muscle related? The thing in my arm, it's definitely like skeletal muscle related because it's only on one side, it's not on the other side. How am I dealing with the heat? Not very well. The reason I didn't stream last week was because I had like a mild heat stroke. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, who already has some joint issues, I would not use a weighted vest to train with, you know, a lot. But I'm not here to like tell you what to do with your life. I personally just don't think it's a very good idea. There are better ways to train for strength, and there are better ways to increase your calorie expenditure. You've been looking into rucking, preparing for a trip to Alaska. Is it bad to dip your finger in salt water, rub your canker? Why are you doing that, Mr. Oddity? I think that's the question you need to ask yourself. I'm not a doctor, but I mean, if it is doctor recommended for you to clean your canker with salt water, maybe. But if you're just doing it to like hurt yourself, It's probably not a good idea. Loses 50 pounds, puts on weighted vest. Body, dude, what the fuck? What happened? Yeah. Yo, Woods, that's all. Good to see you. Like a canker sore. Like sometimes you get it. Sometimes you just get them like when you get sick, or sometimes maybe you like bite the inside of your mouth and then it gets a little infected. You already bought, so you're gonna try and see how you feel. Is for calorie expenditure. Gotcha. Yeah, you do you, bruh. That's just my opinion. Sounds like your grandmother has you do when you had them. I mean, look, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I wouldn't be able to tell you if that's an effective treatment or not. You make quinoa for the first time. Do you like it? Is this the first time you have ever eaten quinoa? I actually don't like quinoa that much. I also don't like couscous that much. I'm gonna try to make like low-ish calorie potato salad today and see how it goes. Look, I just don't like it. I'm not saying it's bad, I just don't like it. Yeah, I mean, I don't even really think of it like, hey Tat, I don't even like think of it as like a rice substitute. I just like, I don't really like the texture of it that much. You've had it before, you never cooked it yourself. You're gonna try to get more fiber with that and the chia seeds. Have you tried? Joey used to eat flax seed meal. Stuff you eat when offered, but you won't make. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how I am, Georgie. If somebody had it at like a potluck, I would try it. I wouldn't necessarily go back for seconds. I did. Thank you, Tech. You're already doing 50K steps. You don't want to eat less. Do you have a recommendation on what you can do about your calorie budget? I don't know what your calorie budget is. In my opinion, and this is not a call out post, in my opinion, most people that have problems with like satiety or like food volume are not necessarily like min-maxing the foods that they are eating, and or like meal timing is what I would say. Because yeah, but yeah, I don't really know specifically what you're doing or like how many calories you have or how much like protein you're trying to get, but like, you know, and maybe you just have like a really big appetite, which is totally valid. But I mean, I'm eating like 1,700 calories right now, trying to get about 150 grams of protein or more. And I really don't have that many issues with my hunger levels because I plan out what I'm eating in such a way that it's like a pretty large volume of food. But I also understand that I have a lot more time and experience cooking, I guess. Time to cook and experience cooking, that it's not really difficult for me to do this. And it could also just be like, maybe I have a smaller stomach. Maybe I let it shrink up a little bit or something. So, I mean, yeah. 1800s, 170, protein 190, trying to budget scale. Haven't been able to break down below 185. It keeps fluctuating. Goal is 180. You know, for you, same calories, higher protein, you spread out your meals rather than two larger ones, one later one at the end of the day, you're not as hungry. Also veggies, lots of veggies, yeah. So, I do think that when you are in a calorie deficit, trying to lose weight, you also need to come to terms at some point that you're not gonna feel great and you probably will feel hungry. But, I mean, yeah, basically what Lou said, like all the vegetables, I add vegetables to like everything. So the way that I'm doing it, since I lowered my calories down to about 1700, what I do now is I try to push back my first meal of the day as late as possible. So I wake up, I have like one diet soda with caffeine. I usually wake up around 7. I have one diet soda with caffeine, and I try not to have my first meal until 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And that meal is usually my coffee, protein powder, collagen powder, creatine, and fat-free milk concoction. And, you know, I could make it bigger and thicker, but usually it's just like a full kind of chunky cup of stuff, and that keeps me pretty satiated until honestly like 2 o'clock. You know, for lunch I'll usually try to eat something pretty low calorie but high volume, and for me that might be like a salad with lean protein and like a low calorie dressing of some sort with like mostly vinegar, or like a yogurt dressing, or like I make a soup with like a clear broth, like chicken broth or vegetable broth or something with lots of vegetables. And then that saves me, honestly, I usually have about 1,000 calories to eat something more fun and more filling in the evening. And I try not to eat in the evening until like 8 or 9 o'clock, and I'll feel full for the rest of the night. And honestly, in the evening, for my evening meal, that's usually the one where I have like fattier cuts of meat, instant ramen, rice, like the tastier things, because it's something for me to look forward to. Hey Jeremy, took you a while to figure out your macros using the macro app. Iceberg lettuce. You're eating 100 grams of spinach a day and you fell off. Yeah, I mean, I honestly wouldn't necessarily recommend you only eat like one sort of vegetable, really, to like help with your nutritional needs in general. You want to try to eat a variety of colorful foods. So like usually, I mean, yeah, you can go in with the iceberg, but like try to get some bell peppers, some tomatoes, some cabbage, like red cabbage. Honestly, I used to do this thing where I would make like coleslaw, but it would be like a salad. It was just like a whole bag of like pre-chopped coleslaw, the cabbage, the red cabbage, the carrots and stuff. And then I would also add like some tomatoes, onions. I know, look, Lou said, I don't remember when, a couple weeks ago in Daya's stream, I think, Lou was like, I can't eat onions. I can't eat like raw onions. I was like, I probably eat like half of a raw onion a day. I eat so much raw onion. But I mean, it's really, cucumbers are also really low calorie. Yeah, me and Lou are on the same calories right now. But like, Lou has to get like 50 more grams of protein than I do. And like, Lou is on the lowish and the moderate end of like protein intake for him, and I'm on the high end, and still the gap is like so big. I know, yeah, a lot of people, you are not the only one. I know a lot of people that straight up will not eat any onions at all, but I eat a ton of onions. Yo, hella shrimp. What other lean stuff? Yeah, I made a really crazy, it was kind of God Gamer. I literally took like half a pound of lunch meat. It was like chicken, sliced chicken, and I chopped it up and I made chicken salad with it. It was kind of good. And I used that half a pound of chicken, an entire thing of like fat-free Greek yogurt, like 2 spoons of light mayonnaise and ranch dressing seasoning, and like added a couple other vegetables and stuff in there. And it was like a big bowl. It like turned out to be a lot. It was really filling. Yeah, I don't know. So you really have to gamer your like food intake when you're on a diet, yeah. You don't even want to know if you put it on high protein. You think it might be like 210 grams? Yeah, bro, that would be like, that's too much. It's unnecessary. Man, I remember, I will say though, like when you are on the higher body fat percentage, I don't think that it's a good idea to use body weight to calculate how much protein you need. Like you can try to guesstimate your body fat percentage and then like kind of calculate how much your lean body mass would be. But for people that have a higher body fat percentage, I would recommend doing like the 1 gram per centimeter of height is usually a little bit easier for people to hit, and it's still a good range, a good amount. I don't know what that would be for you. I don't know how tall you are. But yeah. I remember I was talking to Ninera one time, and her macros were crazy. And I was like, this is way too much protein for you, bro. Like, yeah, it was an insane amount of protein. I feel like it was like well over 200 grams of protein or something. And I was like, that is completely unnecessary. Welcome to Prep Blue. You're a bodybuilder now. Yeah. So I've been using Macro Factor. I don't think I mentioned that right now or in this stream, but I've been using Macro Factor, experimenting with it. And I mean, so far so good. So this has been from May 29th to June 25th. This is about a month. This has been my scale weight. So it is trending down. And my calorie intake, I wish there was like a so this is what it's telling me my calorie expenditure is, which is interesting. This would be like my base metabolic rate. So it's saying it's about 2,200 calories, which I'm very sedentary, so I mean, valid. Okay, and then this is my weight trend graph. So you can see the really squiggly line is my actual scale weight. And the weight trend is the dotted one. So that's cool. What's my nutrition been like? This is my calorie intake. Over the past month or so. If anything, I'm usually under what it tells me than over. So yeah, I mean, for me, so far so good, but right now I'm specifically on 1684. I very rarely hit that specifically. I'm usually more protein than I'm supposed to get. Base meta is the calorie need to maintain your body weight. That includes no movement. No. Base metabolic rate is the calories you need to exist as a normal human being. So that includes like moving around and you know, going to work and taking a shit, you know, just like existing. And I think for what they're giving you in macro factor, I'm pretty sure it includes your workouts. I think it includes everything. So for me, I don't do any extra cardio. I barely get 5,000 steps a day. I work out 5-ish days a week. Yeah, and that's what it is for me. About 2,200 right now. Just existing, working out, playing video games, watching anime, taking a shit, you know, all that stuff. And yeah, 2,200 would be to maintain my body weight, living my life right now as it is. But part of the reason like your basal metabolic rate decreases while you're usually in a calorie deficit is one, because your body weight is going down and you have less, you know, mass to move around. The second is usually, I think the protein per centimeter in height rule would be fine, but it puts you at like 180, so it's not that far off. Okay, that's true. True. Never signed up for this shit. You'll be a prep for like a whole goddamn year. I mean, I think that if you are actually trying to get like significantly to a significantly low body fat percentage, I don't think you should do it all in one go. I think you should, you know, a couple months in a calorie deficit, go into maintenance, feel not like complete shit, and then try to go down again and do it like gradually steps. So, I mean, that would be my suggestion, because at some point you're going to be in a calorie deficit for so long, you are definitely going to be losing muscle mass. Water increase metabolism or affect it? Scientifically, I honestly don't know. Staying hydrated is good for your overall health, and it also decreases your water retention. So, I mean, I would recommend it. I don't think that you should stay hydrated trying to increase your metabolism, because it's very difficult to actually affect your true metabolism. Usually when you do things, you affect your expenditure, not your base metabolism, if that makes sense. You can over time maybe change it with things like building muscle mass or increasing body fat, you know, and that might affect it negatively. Taking drugs, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think drinking water actually affects it. When you are properly hydrated though, your body doesn't feel like it needs to retain a bunch of water, you know? You drink and you piss it out. But when you are chronically dehydrated, your body is like, oh fuck, we have no access to water. We have to hold on to it. And that's when you retain a lot of water in your, like, inside your body. Only thing that you know of that is like ice cold water, then the thermogenic effect, aka keeping your internal body temperature up, would technically mean increased calories through water, but it's marginal. Yeah, I would say any anything you do to try to affect your metabolism is very marginal. I mean, for me, anytime you take something thermogenic like caffeine, I'm doing 1 pill of yohimbine right now. I'm gonna increase it maybe next month. Those are all thermogenic, and they might very slightly increase my metabolism, but not in a way that is significant or probably gonna have that much effect. For me, it's more about staying energized to actually live. Sad boy, why are you crying already? Yeah, so there is no quick fix to losing body fat. You have to be in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time. Doesn't have to be a huge calorie deficit, but you have to be in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time. Okay? All these little things here and there, they just will not add up to it. To keep it 100% real with you, they just will not get you any noticeable results. Should BMR be reevaluated if amino acids are still on the BMR info you use? What are you using this basal metabolic rate? What are you using that info for? You missed the stream. I'm sorry. I was not feeling well last week, sad boy. That's why I didn't stream. I think probably you should be, if you have lost or gained a significant amount of weight or made big changes to your physique, you probably should reevaluate that, especially if you're using it to calculate your macros or something like that. But at the same time, if you are doing something and it's working, you know, I wouldn't necessarily change anything just because you updated your contact info, if that makes sense. But yeah, sometimes I have 2 abs. My 2 abs are looking a little better. Yeah, it feels good and feels bad at the same time. I do feel like I said, I was feeling like very uncomfortable with the way I felt in my body, with how I looked at my body, and I'm starting to feel more like my usual self, which is nice. I like that for me. Obviously, being on a diet is not the most fun. I'm very tired. To determine macros, gotcha. All hail the double abs, my 2 abs. I mean, I will say that I have never used my BMR to calculate macros. What I do is I stay at a certain, before I was using macro factor. Right now, macro factor is telling me what to eat, or telling me my calories and my macros. And that's why I'm paying for it. So it tells me what to eat. I don't have to think about it. But prior to that, what I would do is I would track my food and track my body weight. And I would look at the trend over time. So if I wanted to be losing weight, I want to see, you know, it's going to be like this a little bit, but as long as it was going down over time, I was good. And if it wasn't, if it was like this, but staying mostly the same, that means obviously I'm not in a calorie deficit and I need to drop it a little bit. But that's how I would determine it. I never specifically used basal metabolic rate because I didn't know what my basal metabolic rate was. I kind of like would guess what my maintenance calories were sometimes, just to like, or I might look at a calculator for it to specifically calculate my macros based on my stats, but I would mostly just like figure it out for myself. Do you or any of your smart people in here know anything about the consumption of THC and how it affects weight loss? I do not. I don't use THC. Smart person Lou says it does not impact your weight loss. I think I was saying something earlier. Oh, the longer you've been in a calorie deficit, a lot of times people think that it's affecting their metabolism when it's actually not, is because you're so tired that you're not as like active as you were before. So you don't fidget as much. You don't like just like get up and go to the bathroom as much or something like that. You know, it's more about like the small things that you would just do that were low key making you burn calories, and you just like don't do it anymore because you're really tired, right? So I'm like a huge like fidgeter. I'm like nonstop, like leg shaking and stuff like that. But I mean, I can notice like when I'm tired, I stop doing it as much. That's another reason I'm still taking caffeine and like stimulants and stuff like that, because it helps me like keep that activity up. Hey Anna, I'm doing good. How are you? You didn't get the live notification. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, brother THC can give you the munchies. That necessarily doesn't, I mean, if you can control your cravings. Yeah. The calories are equated. If you're getting high and then you're getting the munchies, then that's on you. I also say if like you're getting high and just like fucking chilling the fuck out and not doing anything, whereas normally you would be slightly more active, that might affect your weight loss. But that's another thing where like, that's more of like a habits and not the actual THC itself. I need a tissue. I'll also say it might affect the intensity of your workouts if you are taking it before or during the workouts. You get high and you go for a walk and you still hit your expenditure goals. Yeah, I don't see why it would. I don't see why it would. I mean, if you're taking like gummies and you're not tracking it, then that might be the problem. You track your gummies? See? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I also think that like, if you have been in a calorie deficit for more than 3 months, it is highly likely that you will hit a plateau and just have a hard time pushing past it. And you might consider taking a little bit of a break, going up to maintenance and staying there for a bit before going back down and hitting it hard again. So I think this is something that people just don't do very often, but like cutting for an extremely long amount of time is not the best, nor does it feel great. So I think if you've been cutting for more than like 16 weeks, should probably take your calories up and like go to maintenance for a while, and don't go to your previous maintenance because that's probably no longer your maintenance. Like if you're feeling like you might just like bring it up by 300 calories, see how it goes, you know, stay there, excuse me, for a couple weeks, see what your weight is doing. And then, you know, you might be able to push it another 100 or 200 calories and still be able to maintain the weight that you had gotten to. And, you know, chill out for a couple months. Enjoy yourself. Let some of the mental strain dissipate. And then you can hit it again feeling better. Yeah, you understand that you're a deficit for 2 years straight. Yeah. Now you make sure to take breaks. Sounds good. So I do is took 2 and walked for an hour and it hit real good. Nice. Yeah. So personally, mentally, and physically, I can't. Usually my cut only lasts for like 12 or 15 weeks before I'm like, I gotta eat more right now. I'm also a glutton. I should mention that. I'm a glutton. I love disgusting food. So, yeah. That's also a cause of mental strain when I'm in a calorie deficit. So, I kind of feel like Hot Boy Walks. Sativa, that's more on the creative side. Nice. I think it's also like you have to kind of like think about it. It's similar to when you're trying to build muscle. You know, there are not that many people that are going to bulk for like years at a time. Most people, because like you can't just put on 100% pure muscle. It's muscle and fat. You know, you have to be gaining weight. So, you know, that's when you like, it's not really steps when you're gaining weight. It's more like you go up, maybe you maintain, you cut. Build more muscle, cut. More muscle, and it's like over time you get more muscular, hopefully leaner, like you stay leaner over time. At least that's how I have tried to live my life. Because I mean, when I first started working out, I was maybe like 110, I don't know. I would definitely say less than 120 pounds or around 120 pounds or less. And now I posted a picture. Where did I post it? Did I post it on Instagram? Like, I am maintaining a body that is leaner, but much, much heavier than it used to be. Okay, yeah, here we go. So, the picture on the left is in 2017. The picture on the right is in 2024. So that's what? 7 years? Is that 7 years? Something like that. In the first picture, I'm 160 pounds. In the second picture, I'm 167 pounds. And although I weigh more in the second picture, I am visibly leaner and more muscular. So like if you can see that. This is me at 160 in 2017, and this is me at 167 in 2024. You can go on my Instagram and look at it better if you want, but you can see like 167, I have slightly visible abs. I have like chest striations. You can kind of see the muscles in my arms. Yeah, my legs are trash, so I mean, you can't really see that, but like, that's like, sometimes it's hard to see the progress, but like that's the progress right there. You get more muscular and leaner over time. Yeah, look, I mean, maybe I wasn't flexing my back so good in that one, but my arms are also way leaner. Nancy yelled hell yeah from the other room. Hell yeah, Nancy. Look at my back. My back looks crazy different. That's probably a bigger transformation, because you can see how much like less rolls I have and like visible, and this is not, I don't think I tried not to flex, but like visible muscle, less fat rolls. My butt looks way better, I think, and my waist looks smaller. Hey Megs, that's a great point. You've been hella yo-yoing with your bulk to cut cycle. You think you're only going to go for like 5 to 10% gains rather than 15-20 gains you've been doing before. Remember when your gym teacher said it's really easy to gain 20, just eat all, yeah. Trying to gain 20 pounds of muscle, you need a lot of work. Yeah. I would say I would tentatively estimate, since I first started working out, that I have probably put on 30 plus pounds of pure muscle mass. It's hard to say exactly how much. I mean, I don't know how much muscle mass I was before, but I would tentatively say 30 plus pounds of pure muscle since I started working out. How's it going today? It's going pretty okay. I'm tired. Yeah, and I will also say, like, it's really hard, like, if you're sometimes to notice these things about yourself, like if you're on a fitness journey, to see the progress, because it's hard to just like look at yourself and be like, oh yeah, because I feel like, for me personally, I feel like I've been looking the same for like the last like 5+ years, but obviously there's a big difference from how I used to look. And like there was even a big difference from when I wasn't working out to like 3 or 4 years in, and then from like, you know, that picture to now. Those were 2 of the highs I was at. Sleep gains are gains too. Yes, for sure, definitely. Megs, I wanted to ask, do you take personal training clients? Because I do get people asking sometimes about personal training, and obviously I do not. So I'm always looking for trusted friends that do take clients. I feel like maybe I asked you before and then I forgot. You don't? Okay, good to know. Because I mean, I think Jade is not really taking on new clients, and I think Cool Runnings is also not taking on any more clients. You never done a bulk before? You're reading a lot about it. Make sure you get it right when you are ready. Nice recap. Thank you, Fit Foodie Cutie. Appreciate you. It is, no, for sure. I mean, that's why I don't want to do it. I already have like a full-time ass job and my fan site, and just trying to play Minecraft for hours. So yeah, I don't want to take clients. Also, like insurance and things like that, it's not for me. I think I'm not very good at training people, if I'm 100% honest with you, because I kind of mentioned it. I haven't really gone into a lot of details, but Joey, one of Joey's friends and his son started working out with us. Like, they will come to our house and work out with us down here, and we're like kind of training them. Like I kind of wrote them up a little program, and we're helping them with like form and stuff like that. But I think I'm not really good at training people. I'm not very good at explaining how to do exercises. I think I've been working out for so long that I don't relate to beginners very well anymore. So yeah, I can't imagine trying to work with a beginner online. Did for a short period, you had a lot of flaky people. You put in the work and creative, but they didn't follow through. Yeah, that's really annoying. I think that's like the most frustrating thing about personal training is the, what's the word for it? Adherence? And there's a different word that I can't think of off the top of my head. Yeah. I also feel like it's a little frustrating as like a streamer as well sometimes. Like if I think too hard about it, sometimes I get a little frustrated. But compliance, maybe, is that the word? But I try to think about it in that I'm like, well, they're watching my stream and it helps with good content for me to keep. No, it's more like when the same person will maybe ask like the same question week after week and you try to help them and then they literally don't take any of your advice. Thinking when you need to do it slowly so skin can keep from shrinking. You're wondering if there's something that helps skin becoming more firmer. I mean, it does help to lose weight slowly. I mean, it also helps if you are like a younger person, you know, staying hydrated, drinking water, using body lotion will also help. You can use like skin firming lotion, but if you lose weight and you stay at that lower weight for an extended period of time, it gives your skin more chance to like shrink up. So I don't know if y'all remember, but Joey actually does have a bit of loose skin around his stomach because growing up he was bigger and he lost weight kind of rapidly when he was like a teenager, I think. So he does have a little bit of loose skin, and he noticed it shrinking up the most when he stayed at a lower body fat percentage for a longer period of time. So yeah, you know, in some cases, especially in the case of like extreme fat loss, it might not be possible for you to like bounce back like you would want to. And that's when you might think about getting surgery if that's the right decision for you. But yeah, it depends on the person and it depends on the amount of weight. It's just, it's really an everything depends on everything sort of situation. It really takes dedication to follow up and keeping with the program. You also think clients as a streamer, as in general clients, you say competitive is different, creates a chance for a really weird dynamic. I feel like that with your parents and grandparents, you're too extreme to take fitness and health advice from in their opinions. Yeah, depends on the person. I guess you get weirded out easily. Yeah. Yeah, some people do get that. So I think I have had some issues with my mom in the past about fitness and weight loss related topics, but I think that we're at a point now where it's not really weird. I think that she knows that we don't have the same goals and that we are not willing to do the same things, and she doesn't try to, oh shit, oh god, she doesn't try to she doesn't really make weird comments about my body anymore. Like, she doesn't say like, oh, you're too skinny or you gained a lot of weight and stuff like that, which, I mean, I don't know why she was doing that in the first place when she is somebody that has always struggled with her weight. Please don't step on the keyboard. But yeah, I mean, she does ask me fitness advice now, and I just do my best to answer in a way that makes sense for her and her lifestyle. Do you know what I'm saying? I would never try to tell somebody that's more casual about fitness that they need to do exactly what I do. I try to tailor my advice to their lifestyle as far as I know what it is. So like my mom's a little frustrated. She's short. She's like maybe, I don't know, like 5'2", and she's older. I think she's in her 60s now, and she's frustrated because her maintenance calories are low, right? It's like 14 or 1500 calories a day. And she's like, this is not fun. Like, this is not a lot of calories. And I was like, well, like, what are you doing in terms of fitness stuff? And she's like, well, I go for walks and I do this and that. And I'm just like, well, it's not fun, but like, that's basically, if you want to eat more, you have to like increase your calorie expenditure. Like, your body gets used to it over time. So, you know, you might have to go for longer walks, or you might have to do more intense like biking or something like that. But yeah, so basically the way I got my mom to not say shit about my body was to clap back. And I had to be kind of a bitch about it. And, you know, sometimes you gotta be kind of a bitch to your family about it, about stuff, in order for them to shut the fuck up about, you know, something that's not their business. But yeah, I was a bitch about it, but in a firm way. You know, people would be like, oh, you lost so much weight. And I'm just like, it's part of my fitness journey. I'm way healthier than you are. Look at my muscles. You know absolutely nothing about fitness. You know, like, I would say shit like that to people, and then eventually they stopped commenting on it. Yeah. I probably didn't say it exactly as mean as that, but I would just be, you know, I would just say something like that, you know, or I would just be like, why are you saying these negative things about my body? Oops. Like, are you trying to make me feel bad? And usually the answer is no. And then it's just like, Jade said this on her stream one time. Well, we were talking about it in general. If somebody asks you a weird question, answer them with a weird question back. You know, if somebody's like, why are you working out so much? Be like, why aren't you taking better care of yourself? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, why are you trying to lose weight? You're already skinny. It's like, why don't you, or why do you feel the need to make rude comments about my body? You know, sometimes you don't necessarily have to clap back and just be an asshole about it, but sometimes like you want to try to make other people actually think about the words that they're saying, because a lot of people do not think about the words that are coming out of their mouth. Yeah. I did it on stream one time, semi-recently, where somebody was like, where do you live? And I was like, I was literally about to ban them. And then I was like, okay, why would you specifically ask me where I live? And they were like, oh, well, I wanted, you know, to work with you as like a personal trainer. And I'm just like, well, first of all, that's really weird to ask somebody on a public platform what city they live in. And second of all, I don't take clients, and they didn't get banned. But it was, you don't ask people that. It's so weird. It's so weird to ask somebody like that. Yeah, a lot of people just don't know how to ask questions in a way that it's not offensive or rude. And you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Your cat was 22.5 pounds with proper diet and bullying. You got him to 14 pounds. That's awesome, sad boy. Sometimes it's really hard to help a cat lose weight. I think most of the time it's about making them play more, because cats just kind of like are naturally pretty chill, I guess. They're not like, sometimes they zoom, but not always, especially when they get older. So when you like play with them and you make them move around more, I think that's really helpful on top of like managing their food. I think a lot of people also like Um, you can't let your cat like tell you when it needs to eat. You know, they have a certain amount of food a day that they're supposed to eat, and like you can't let them like sway you too much by screaming at you. You gotta teach them, right, Mr. Toad? You gotta teach them. Your cat Otto's got a little hefty since moving. You gotta make him play. Nighttime is the best zooming time for cats. I feel like my cats have not been zooming that much, but they are getting older. Actually, Mafik got cat flu. I think we figured out that Mafik had cat flu. He still kind of has cat flu. So he's getting over it. So he's not as active as he normally is, I think. It's very funny to see a cat with like human boogers. It's very weird. Response you get when you ask your mom, why do you care? I'm really healthy. Her response is always gaslit AF. Oh, I'm just worried about your health. Like, yeah, he's definitely getting better. So like what specifically is your mom asking, like, about your weight? I think asking in return, like, why do you care? I think you could ask something better. I think you could be like, what makes you think that I'm not healthy? You know, if she's like, oh, why are you gaining weight? Or like, why are you losing weight? You know, what makes you think I don't know how to take care of myself? What makes you think I'm not healthy right now? You know what I'm saying? Maybe try that one next time instead of why do you care? Because obviously they're your mom, they probably do care about you, you know, and when you say why do you care, they're gonna be like, oh, well, because I care about you and I'm worried. It was like, what makes you think you need to worry about me like that? I'm a full-grown ass adult. Yeah. So sometimes you gotta like gentle parent. I don't know if that counts as gentle parenting, but yeah, if try that one next time. What makes you think I'm not healthy? What makes you think I can't take care of myself? What makes you think you didn't teach me how to take care of myself? Turn it back on her. Were you a bad parent? Do you think that you were a bad parent and that's why I'm not healthy? That's why? Huh? Or do you think that you did teach me? And if so, then why are you asking? Or he's stepping on the keyboard. Your mom doubles down. In that case, you tell her to shut up. Just tell her to stop. Stop asking, bro. You get the same answer every time. Why do we have to fight about this? It's always about your weight. You know, you could also be like, what's up with your weight? I wouldn't really recommend that, but yeah. Excuse yourself with as much sass as possible. Hair flipping everything. JK, but yeah. I don't know. I think it's also like an older person thing to equate weight with health. And that's just like not the case, you know. There are some, in extreme cases, you know, your body weight might affect your overall health, but like not in like for like the 80% of like the way that you're living, you know, especially for people that are fitness minded. The teach me things will absolutely make her cry, and then maybe she won't ask you again. You accepted that she is low-key insane. I mean, it do be like that sometimes with like older people. Yeah. Also, mom, you know I know more about this. Like, please trust. I'm okay. You figure, guess that Me being in a... That would happen a lot. In that case, stop hanging out with toxic people. You don't have to hang out with your family if they are assholes. I just want you to know that. You don't have to do that. My mom also used to say, I feel like I'm not trying to shit on my mom. We don't really have a lot in common, but we don't not get along. We just like, there's a very large age gap. Very different, like generationally, right? We just don't really have a lot in common. There was a long time that I didn't really go over to their house because my mom would make comments about like my tattoos and my piercings and stuff. And my dad said to me one time, he's like, you should come over more, your mom misses you. And I'm just like, every time I come over, she got some shit to say about my tattoos and piercings. And my dad told her, and she stopped doing that shit. You learn to be at an acquaintance level with your mom for your own mental health. I'm proud of you, Meg, for doing that. It's good that you have boundaries like that. That's why you move 700 miles away. Be like that. That's valid. That's totally valid. The question thing doesn't always work, but I definitely feel like it's worth a try. With most people, it's worth a try. And if it doesn't work, that person probably does not have empathy, and that person probably can't understand things from another person's point of view, and you probably don't want that person to be a major player in your life. You're in the process of making it happen. It'd be like that. It's still tough, but it's worth it. You think the question thing will have a positive effect, you're gonna try it? Yeah, sometimes it's about the right question. It's like we also have to think about our words when trying to make somebody else think about their words. Yeah, I hope it does work out. I mean, for your sake and also for the sake of your mom, because your mom probably doesn't not want to be, your mom probably wants to stay in contact with you, but yeah, it's totally valid to just not be in contact with people that are bad for your mental health. Sometimes you also have to be like, yeah, I mean, like the conversation Lou is trying to have with his mom, where it's like, trust me that I know what I'm doing. Sometimes it helps to say something like that. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't, you know? I think that's also part of like the turning point with me and my mom, where I was like, I know what I'm doing. This is part of my fitness journey. You know, I've been doing this for a long time. I have knowledge. You don't have to worry about me. You know, and I think that's also part of like, yeah, like I said, our turning point. And now she will ask me like some fitness-y questions. But yeah, when giving fitness advice, try to also have empathy and like think about things from the other person's perspective and their lifestyle. That's what I try to do, at least, you know, because I know that I live a different life, and it's easy for me to say to people, well, just eat different or just cook your food this way. But people, you know, that's not always feasible. You need to lurk and do homework. Thank you, Meg. I appreciate you coming through. Always good to talk to you as well. Yeah, these are like the things. And I think streaming has taught me to be more empathetic and with other people when it comes to fitness. because it's not my way or the highway, you know? You have to make it work for you or it's not gonna work. Thank you, Tanstick, for saying that. Yeah, I don't think me and my mom will ever really be super close. We're just like too different. I think for my age, I don't necessarily think I act really young, but I feel like I have the lifestyle of someone younger than my age. Whereas my mom is kind of like on the opposite end. She's older and acts older than she is, maybe. Lives the lifestyle of somebody older than she is. So it's just like a big disparity in that sense. It's okay. Yeah. I think that's kind of a problem with a lot of people nowadays as well. A lot of people my age, maybe in their 30s, or, you know, if your parents are much older, people in my age group, you know, there was like a big jump in technology, whereas like, you know, we didn't have computers when we were kids, and now all of a sudden we have like a computer in our pocket 24/7. Whereas somebody from an older generation would have more of a hard time adjusting. And yeah, just like you know, I'm also very like liberal, and my parents are pretty conservative. What's up, Spenzo? How you doing? Everyone is different, has different kind of fitness goals in life. Yeah, and just, I mean, just different lifestyles in general. You know, for me to be like, you know, if somebody, for example, has a full-time job, has a family with small children and multiple pets, taking care of a household, all that stuff, I can't just be like, take more time out of your already busy day to cook more of your food at home. You know, that person probably does things a certain way because that's all they have time for. You know, I would instead be like, well, you know, let's think about ways that you can change your diet that works with your lifestyle. You're heckin' tired? Good night, Sweet Lou. Thanks for stopping by. Good to talk to you. It doesn't make sense for me to tell my mom, you need to start lifting weights to put on more muscle so that your metabolism is higher so you can eat more. You know, I might suggest, hey, you know, instead of just going for more walks, maybe you do a follow along video with some small weights, you know. But I wouldn't suggest to her, hey, why don't you come down and work out with me at my gym and I'll teach you how to pump iron. She just would not be into it. She just wouldn't do it, you know. It's not what she's into. She doesn't want to get big and juicy like me, but you know, you got to think about these things. Why don't you have a time machine? Exactly. Why don't you have a time turner? Yeah. I tell you what, these are bombshell pants, by the way. They have like a little cutout in the back. This is my underwear, by the way. It's very close to my skin color, but that's like my underwear. Oh, I was visiting my friends over the weekend. I went up to New York City to visit friends, and we basically just sat around and watched anime, but my friend knows that I work out. She also works out, and she was asking me like, what's my favorite like athletic clothes? I was telling her about Bombshell, and I was like, it's very like hot girl clothes if that's not really your style. She was like, no, I like it. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe she'll get some. What would be a good exercise for old people if not lifting in the gym? Just wondering. So if we're talking about like an older person, if we're talking like elderly, like super old, I honestly don't think I could really give you a good suggestion. I think somebody with experience working with elderly people would need to help them. Like for real, like a physical therapist maybe even. But if we're asking like for older people, somebody that maybe in their like 50s or 60s and never worked out before and not comfortable going to the gym, I would probably recommend they start out with like a follow along video on YouTube for some like low impact, like walking type of cardio. Like a follow along video where it's like really chill dance moves, where something like where you're just like going back and forth. Maybe you're doing it like with this, I don't know, something like this, almost like aerobics to start them out, where they can like work up to something more intense. I would probably tell them start going for walks if you're not already going for walks, and do something like that. And then, I mean, if they get like gung-ho about it, I would probably tell them to go to the gym and use machines. Just sit down on the machines and use the machines. But yeah, it's hard to recommend like a specific exercise, because especially for people that are completely untrained, have never worked out before, because they are so uncoordinated that I honestly wouldn't even really recommend that they do body weight squats, because they'll probably do them like really wrong. So like doing something low impact at home just to like get some activity, get your heart rate up is probably the best bet. And then go from there if they feel like they want to do more. I think an older person that wants to build muscle, that has absolutely no experience lifting weights or working out, should really do so under somebody's supervision. I think I did get a t-shirt, Tian. Kind of see it right there. Oh, I forgot. Well, I almost forgot. I asked in Discord if people had anything they wanted me to talk about. And What Did Cubone had a suggestion. Maybe talk about muscle memory or the process of getting back into gaining after a hiatus. And I think that's like a really good thing. You were thinking about swimming for basic exercise for old people. If they can swim, swimming is a good basic exercise. You can also take, well, depending on where you live, they might also offer like swim aerobic classes, which would be really good. But not everybody knows how to swim, and not everybody has access to those kind of things. So yeah, I do think swimming is a really good low impact, almost like resistance training. There's a little bit of resistance. So yeah, swimming and water activities are really good exercise. You know, it just depends on like what you have access to. Like if you have like a community center or a local pool that you can go to. But anyways, when it comes to like working out after coming back from a hiatus, I always suggest for people to do, I call it a reload. I do this for myself, and it really depends on like, my protocol kind of depends on like how long I was not working out for. But usually I will take at least 1 or 2 weeks to work back up to my previous weights or volume. When I came back from Japan, you know, I've been off for like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I basically did my normal workouts, but with half the amount of weight I was doing before. And I also took out all of the like weird sets that I was doing. So I didn't do any drop sets. I didn't do any 1+ half rep sets or anything like that. I just did everything straight sets. And I kind of took out single leg exercises, and I just like for the leg machines. So I did that for like about a week. And then I started bringing the weights up to close to what I was doing before that. And I think this applies not just for like if you take a vacation or if you haven't worked out for like months or years. I think this also applies if you're coming back from an injury or if you were sick. So if you were sick, even if it's just like a couple days, I would really recommend you don't jump back into exactly what you were doing before you got sick. You know, take a couple days to work up to it. You know, I think that's especially applicable if you had a sickness that affects your breathing or your lung capacity. Ease back into it. You don't have to blast yourself right away. I think if you are like completely detrained, like you haven't worked out for months or years, you should think about maybe changing the program that you were doing depending on how advanced your programming was before you stopped working out. And like easing in also in terms of like days. If you were working out 5 days a week prior, maybe you start back doing 3 days a week. You know, because you could be, if you are so detrained that you're basically starting from the beginning, you don't want to blast yourself right away. You can make gains on much lower volume. So I would recommend that. Just like you don't have to go back to what you were doing before. You know, it might feel good for your ego, but it's probably not good for your body. Yeah, and just the amount of time you take to ease back into working out is, like I said, gonna depend on like how long you haven't been working out for. And when it comes to like an injury, you know, if you were working out the entire time, just maybe not working out the specific injured area, you know, ease that one exercise back in. And you want to make sure that you're always doing the same thing on both sides. So if for example, if you had a shoulder injury, if you're doing like shoulder press with dumbbells, make sure you match your good shoulder with your bad shoulder. So you might consider doing them like single arm. You know, if you only get like 6 reps, match it on the side that's feeling fine, because you don't want the one side to get even stronger. I think most people will notice if you take a break or whatever, for whatever reason you weren't exercising, when you come back to it, you will get back to where you were before much quicker than going from nothing to get to where you were, if that makes sense. I don't know what the exact science behind it is, or like if there's like an exact way to calculate how long it will take, but that's just, I would say, the general experience of most people. Even if you took off for years, your body does remember some of it, the movements and the weights and stuff like that. The body remembers, yeah. So that's always, I think that's always nice. 'Cause I've taken off, like, I've been working out for, not obviously, I trying to not say that as much. I felt like I used to say obviously a lot, but it's not obvious. I have been working out for 10 years or so, but there have been times within that 10 years where I have stopped working out for months at a time. And maybe my progress was a little slower because of that. But at some points in time, maybe it was a little bit slower, but I have never felt like it held me back from my total overall gains. That's why I never feel bad or guilty or ashamed when I take a vacation and I don't work out, because I know that in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter that much. It might slow you down just a tiny bit, but I mean, I plan to be working out and having a fitness-minded lifestyle for the rest of my life. There's a big difference when you increase your daily protein intake, much less aches in your muscles, more energy, and you're sleeping better. That's really good. Yeah. For me, when I'm especially in a calorie deficit, I like to keep my protein really high because I feel like it helps me recover from workouts better. Where if I'm eating the bare minimum of protein on a cut, like I feel like I'm so sore and I'm so tired for like a really long extended period of time. I try to keep the intensity of my workouts about the same, although I might not be doing as much weight just because I'm not feeling as strong, but I try to keep the intensity up. And yeah, my recovery is just like, for me, it's noticeably better when I'm eating higher protein. I don't necessarily think that it helps with my energy, because usually carbs are what help with your energy stores. But yeah, protein for me is big on like the overall feel of my body, I guess. Although I do still get sore, of course, just like the recovery aspect is much easier. I had to pee so bad. I was trying to make it to the end of the stream, but I mean, maybe I'll just end the stream early. It's kind of like, it's pretty chill anyways. I'm really thinking about doing Minecraft on stream, maybe like once a week. I don't know. I might ask on social media if people care about that. I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't really like to play games on stream because it's very difficult for me to sit in one place for a long period of time. But I get so into Minecraft that I actually will sit there for hours and play. But I feel like it would be really boring. But maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe people just like want to relax to some Minecraft. I don't know. That could be the vibe. We'll see. I'd have to set it up upstairs, and it's not set up upstairs. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Like I have to, sometimes I get into this mindset of like, oh, I don't have anything to offer. I don't have anything to offer this community. Like, it's all been done before, or I'm not that knowledgeable. But sometimes it's like not about that. Sometimes it's about like, and this is how I view content when I'm watching it. It's like, oh, I just enjoy watching it for the sake of it. You know, it's not necessarily teaching me anything. It's not necessarily like, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's just to watch something, have something in the background. We'll just watch for you. You're the original piece. Wow. Okay, Anna. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. It might be chill and fun. I probably can hold a conversation. That's another thing. I can't like, I had a really hard time holding a conversation and reading chat while I was gaming. But I probably could do it. I could probably talk at least while playing Minecraft. I don't know about how well I can read chat, but I can definitely talk and build at the same time. I just play in creative mode though. But some, like I've found this person on YouTube that I've been watching a lot of their content lately for Minecraft stuff, and it's literally just like hours of videos where they're building things with commentary. She does long plays with commentary, which I like. I don't like long plays without commentary because I'm not always paying attention, you know? So when she's like talking, like that's good for me. So I forgot where I was going with what I was saying. Oh, she makes me kind of want to play, not necessarily survival, but like play where I have to like like harvest things. I don't know, maybe. If you want to play Minecraft and you want to play with friends or like be in the same world, I can ask Ariel if you can be in our realm. Ariel has a realm where it's like me, her, and a couple other people. I think there's still room for more people. We don't have that many friends. But it's like, you don't really have to worry about stepping on other people's toes either. We all kind of have our own areas and we all kind of do our own things. No, we don't have a server. It's not a server. It's a realm. Ariel is the owner. I don't have my own server or anything. I was about to set one up because we were talking about doing modded, but then it was too much work. We already have this realm. But yeah, it's like we all just like kind of do our own thing in the same general area. But anyways, just message me on Discord if you decide that you're gonna play Minecraft again and you want to just like be in the same world. You don't have friends in games anymore. Yeah, it's mostly Joey doesn't even play with us. It's mostly just me and Ariel, and then Punkline plays sometimes. So I don't know if I would set up a server, like a real server. I don't think I have anywhere to host it. I'd have to like pay for it, which is not really that big a deal, but it's just like, I would rather play with like really close friends instead of like having a big server with like a lot of random people, you know? I don't want people I don't know touching my shit. I'm like, I am very particular about my stuff, but I'm not particular about other people's stuff. They can do whatever they want. We were trying to get Goalie to play with us, and he was like, I don't want to come in and get shamed for doing the wrong thing. I was like, bro, it doesn't matter. You claim your spot and you can do whatever you want in your spot, you know, or wherever. I mean, it doesn't even have to be, you can have multiple spots. Like if you're in a place, you can just do whatever you want, as long as you don't come over to what I'm doing and mess with my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I totally don't feel some type of way about that. I mostly make little houses, cute little houses. Right now, I took over a village that was already there, and I'm like redoing the entire village. That's what I like to do, I think. I like to make tiny little houses, but I also like to play with the villagers, not in like a mean way, not to like fuck them up, but like, I took this village and I redid all the houses so they're nicer and bigger, and then I gave upgrade all their little huts. Yeah, I made their farms more organized, and then I gave everyone a job. So I went and I made a specific house for each job that the villagers can have, and then I made a villager take it. Yeah. You find the community servers have really been really nice. People have been really respectful and helpful, leaving other building lows. You play community server on Minecraft. Oh, okay, gotcha. I didn't know that. Wow. I mean, that sounds really nice. I just have not played on a community server before. It's just, yeah, it's only ever been on Ariel's Realm. But I think what I was saying, sometimes watching this person, her name is, I think she uses she, her pronouns. Don't quote me on that. Infinite Drift is the channel where she does a lot of like long plays with commentary. I specifically like that there's commentary, and I like their commentary because it's like she's talking a little bit about, you know, she's talking about what she's doing, but she's also talking about some other stuff as well. She also does live streams, I think, once a week. That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of like sussy. I'm sussy of other people. But yeah, if you like Minecraft videos, you might like Infinite Drift. I tried to watch other people that do similar things, and like there was just one girl. She had such a thick English accent. I like could barely understand her, and I felt bad. Usually I'm pretty okay with accents, but hers was like so thick I couldn't. But yeah. And Infinite Drift has kind of a similar style to me, I guess, where it's mostly just like, oh, let's just make a cute little buildings and stuff like that. It's not a lot of like huge castles or like complicated things. Yeah. See many beautiful things ruined by grifters in Minecraft. Oh no. That sounds awful. That makes me want to do it even less. That's Choco Fujo, right? What's up? Also, Astronaut said that people can't mess with other players' buildings. Thoughts on balancing martial arts and strength training? I think that, okay, I mean, this is not specifically in regards to martial arts and strength training, but these are my thoughts on cross training in general, meaning like you're trying to lift weights and do some sort of other sport. I think you will always have to decide which one is your priority. You know, are you mainly lifting and you're doing martial arts for fun, or you're doing maybe you're doing rock climbing for fun, maybe you do hiking for fun, you know? Or are you doing that other thing? Are you more focused on that other thing and you're supporting it with your lifting? I think you have to decide what that is. And I think you also have to understand that by splitting your attention and your splitting your body, your reserves, like you will never be as good as you can be in either of those things because you are not fully focused on either of those things. So I think keeping that in mind, like you have to figure out what's best for you. You're good. I'm glad to hear that, Choco Fujo. You're talking like 10 years ago or more. Hopefully things have changed. Oh, they have such cute stuff now, Anna. If you haven't played in a long time, they have the cherry blossoms. They have the recent update. They have a ton more copper blocks. I use a really cute texture pack. And the shaders make it look so pretty. Yeah, anyways. So much good stuff. But yeah. So, I mean, it's also, you can do, you don't necessarily have to support your sport with your lifting, but do know that they will impact each other. You know what I'm saying? Like if you are training for martial arts and like you do a fucked up heavy leg day, obviously you're not going to perform as well when you're training your martial arts because you're fucked up. The jungle biome was new when you played it last? Oh man. I don't know. I only started playing like recently, like within the last year or so. So I don't remember. When I started playing, the cherry blossoms were brand new. I think it was 1.20 something. The jungle biome I don't think I have actually seen a jungle biome in person or in the world that we're playing in. Cause we're mostly in like a forest and flower forest and plains kind of area. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of is what it is. You could tame them with fish. That's cute. There's only like cows and pigs in my area right now. Yeah, I haven't seen an ocelot. I also haven't been to a desert biome and seen the camels. Sometimes I spawn them, but I haven't seen them like in the wild. Yeah. So if your sport is your main thing, you have to work your lifting around that. If lifting is your main thing, you have to work your sport around it. And I mean, that's just the way it is. You'll never be the greatest at either. And that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's my thoughts. Okay, I think unless there are any other videos in powerlifting only just got back into martial arts. I think it also kind of depends on like what martial arts as well. There's a lot of people that really successfully like lift weights and stuff and also do like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But I'm not sure what I'm trying to say there. Yeah, it does. It will affect it in some way. I think you also have to like be really careful that you're around injuries as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, my brain is starting to not work. Does anybody have any other like really specific comments, questions, or concerns before I head out for the day? Sorry you kind of came in a little close to the end of the stream, McWallen. That was actually a really good question. I don't want to call anyone out because, yeah, it's something I think about kind of on the regular because I know people that do cross-train with different things. And I think the biggest thing is that you just have to manage your expectations of what you can achieve, is what I would say. You have to manage your expectations and figure out your priorities. It's always next time to ask more. I know, but like if there was something like really urgent, anything super urgent, I just threw something on the floor. Let me know real quick. Of course, people can always ask in the Discord as well. Or in the comments section of this video, if you're watching after the fact, you can always leave a comment and I'll do my best to answer there as well. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. You must urgently tell me that I'm great. Thank you. Thank you, Chocofujo. Thanks for being here, Anna. Yeah, maybe very tempted. I'm not gonna say like 20% chance I might do Minecraft streams, but it's like very low chance. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to like get in the habit of turning all of my hobbies into like I don't want to feel like my hobbies have to be content. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know that in my head, but I still feel like when I start doing something, I automatically try to think of a way to turn it into content or some kind of stream of income. And it doesn't have to be like that. But I do think I might actually just enjoy Minecraft streams if I'm just Minecrafting anyways. Do you know what I'm saying? If I am genuinely just sitting there for hours at a time, maybe I would just have a good time streaming it as well. Okay. Thank you everyone for being here. Don't forget to be responsible for your own gains. Don't be a dick. Control your cock. I will definitely be back next Tuesday for another stream like this, unless something comes up, which, you know, sometimes stuff does come up. If you have not already subscribed, you can do so right here. If you want to watch more videos, this is what the algorithm recommends for you. And if you want to watch the entire playlist of YouTube live streams, right down here. See y'all later. Bye.